Hello and welcome back to our coverage of New Horizons Festival. Today we have an opportunity to talk to Atiną Rachel Tsangari, which has a focus on her career at this year's festival. Hello.
Hi.
So first of all, how are you enjoying Poland? Is it your first time here?
No, it's the second time in Wrocław after showing Attenberg here.
In 2011.
2011, yes.
You, if I remember correctly, you won the main competition that year. And how do you feel because you shown the Attenberg again this year at the festival? Do you feel that audience reaction, audience perception of it changed in those years, or?
I don't know. I don't have a sense of that. I mean, I'm happy that I was there and it was a full theater, but it just seems that in this festival all the theaters are full.
That's true.
So it's a very committed audience, and I'm actually really impressed that and they all seem very committed cinephiles and very knowledgeable about cinema.
Yes, we try to do our best here. And let's go to the beginning of your career, maybe for starters. You studied filmmaking in USA and had your feature debut in 2000 with Slow Business of Going. So how was that experience at the beginning of your career?
It's a film that basically was my thesis film at film school in Austin. So it was a film that I was making for a long time. It was sort of like my putting myself through school by making this film, and it was very much a film, an improvisational film that we came up with a story as a group, rehearsing a lot, and then we would shoot the different episodes of the film. Every time we would get a small grant or get equipment, and so it was what I call devised cinema, sort of like devised theater, something that comes out of a process instead of being based on a very specific script.
So more like trying to capture the energy you all had and the time you were making it.
Yeah, and it was in a way it was a archaeology of media, because I started it at an era which was the transition to digital. So we started with 16mm film and shooting lots on Super 8 too, and then ended up on it was the first kind of iteration of digital film, and then so it was 5 different formats that then were blown up to 35. So the print itself was 35, but each episode, because it took 5 years to make, was in different media, different languages, different genres.
I see. And after that, you took quite a big gap in filmmaking, I would say 10 years. We had to wait for Attenberg. And Attenberg is such a striking film. It's very specific, I think, to your culture and to you yourself, because I see it seems to be very autobiographical in a way. And could you tell a little bit about how this was made?
It wasn't really autobiographical. I mean, we made it in a town where I spent the first 7 years of my life, in a company town where my father used to work. It wasn't really autobiographical, though. I'm not Marina, but it was, in a way, it was my homecoming film after 10 years of living in America. And I spent some time when I returned to Greece producing films through our collective house film. And this was a film that kind of poured out of me as a way to approach myself as someone who's trying to understand if she belongs in a country, in a society, in her own memories of herself.
Yes, because it's a mixture of many different things. I felt like, because on the one hand you have this process of accepting the death of of your family, process of at the same time coming of age in a way, but also you find space for this like impressionistic elements of it when the girls are walking and doing this like Ministry of the City walks kind of thing. So how were you thinking about the form of this film to balance it out?
There was a script, but then once we started rehearsing, part of the script was Marina's obsession with nature documentaries by Sir David Attenborough. So we started by watching lots of his documentary series, and I asked my actors to find their favorite animals and to sort of like start expressing themselves through that. So eliminating dialogue as much as possible and physicalize each character through these animal personas. So it was it's something that derives from a long process of rehearsals.
Rehearsals and just letting actors become the characters almost, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it feels like Chevalier was in very similar fashion in the sense of actors becoming their characters, I would say. So how was that project different from the Attenberg? Is it something that was completely different for you, or just natural evolution?
Yeah, natural evolution. Again, it was all of the films in a way. There is an idea that always there is a way of negotiating power, whatever this power is within gender or personal identity. Sexuality, and then once I cast, each character is adjusted to the specific actors, and then Chevalier, we got into this yacht for some time before we actually started shooting, and it's all a male cast, and they kind of started playing Chevalier between them until they settled really into their power dynamics. Yeah, I can't really describe what the process is because it happens quite intuitively. But it's always a big discovery for me.
So the whole process of making films for you is like just giving this idea, finding people that stick with it, and exploring it together as a community,
exactly.
Right? Stuff like
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel this approach to filmmaking differs from picture to picture? Do you feel more certain with this kind of filmmaking now than in previous years?
I always feel like I almost start from the beginning because every film is quite different. And it takes me some time to find the language for this film and the necessity for the film to exist and for me to make it. It's always a long process, and I enjoy it, and I don't think it's no, I don't actually like to feel very certain.
Mm-hmm.
I think this sense of discovering with everyone is what propels me to keep making films.
Okay.
More than, a film that comes out of a specific, very bulletproof script. I kind of try to destroy the script and then build it back together
with the people that came to this production. That's a very interesting way of working, I feel. And with Harvest, it's probably your biggest international success, I would say. I don't know if you agree with it. And how was that experience? Because again, 9 years between films, quite a lot of time to let this idea probably simmer within you. How were you approaching that project?
Harvest was not a script that originated from me originally. It was a project that was offered by 3 producers who were looking for a director. Jocelyn Barnes initially bought the option for the book, which is Harvest by Jim Crace, an incredible British writer, and Rebecca O'Brien and Michael Weber, they asked me to consider it to direct. And I was very interested in the book because of this sense of, something that I find quite contemporary right now, which is the loss of land and the expulsion of people of their land. And it all happens in sort of like the end of the Middle Ages, in the sort of like beginning of the Industrial Revolution. But I found the book quite contemporary. He doesn't really locate the story himself, and then in the center of the book there is a character who is quite passive.
Mm-hmm. He just lets all those things happen to him, like he just reacts, even not really reacts. Like
it's not even reacting. I think he's
just letting it happen and living through it.
Kind of like unable to really do something about it, which is something that I've been feeling a lot. Yeah,
I think a lot of people right now, with all the things going on, feel this powerlessness, right? Like we don't really have opportunity to change anything. Like the world is just changing around us, and we are kind of passive in it.
Yeah, do you feel like that?
Yeah, I feel like that, especially with all the things that are happening in global politics, but also in local politics. It's just like we are between. I feel like in the world we are living through these really turbulent times, but everything is completely out of our grasp, reach, and we cannot really do anything about it. So
yeah, that's tragic, right?
Yeah, that's very tragic. But I feel that your film Harvest kind of captures this feeling, and I feel that many people find their frustration within it. They see themselves in the story.
That's what was our hope when we made the film. And I say we because it's really a big community film that we shot in Western Scotland with lots of, all of the villagers in the film are farmers from the area and themselves descendants from people who had been kicked out of their land centuries before.
And going a bit into the end of the interview, because our time is passing violently. What's next? What are you preparing for? Are we gonna wait this much time again, or is there something more on the horizon?
I don't know. I never know because I'm very slow, and yeah, I mean I have a film that I've been working on already, but you know, you never know. It's a film actually that I would like to shoot in Greece, and it's quite difficult to make a film in Greece because of all the difficulty in funding.
So I heard it's supposed to be a sci-fi epic.
I wouldn't say an epic, but it's you know, it is a sci-fi in my own way, the same way Harvest is a Western in my own way. So yeah, it's like a sci-fi screwball comedy.
Oh, I see.
We'll
do you find yourself going towards certain genres of film, or do you prefer not to think about movies as genres?
I don't really think about it before, you know, so I'm not saying I'm gonna do a science fiction or a Western, but the story comes and then it also finds its own genre because I spend lots of time researching and collecting lots of material, and then somehow that material becomes a story, and then it changes again once I find the location, which is always a character, and then it changes again when I find the cast. So yeah, it's a long process of gestation,
Evolution.
Yeah, and then I think that the most important moment in our process as filmmakers is the moment when we decide what film we're going to make. You know, between the different ideas, what's the one that demands to be made.
I see. So I really hope that we will get this and another project from you rather sooner than later, because it's really something special, something different. Even from you can't really be compared to like other filmmakers from Greece or even from Europe. It's like something very unique within your production. So I really hope that we will get it sooner than later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the conversation and being here at the festival. And thank you for watching, and see you guys around.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.